The automobile economy has been the talk of the town for quite some time now. From rises to declines, we can surely expect some instability here. What is all the fuss about anyway? Stick with us till the end of the video as we break down 15 reasons why an enormous automobile collapse can be expected pretty soon. You do not want to miss out on this one. Number 1. Decrease in vehicle sales. Imagine entering a busy car dealership and being greeted by the aroma of new vehicles and leather. Shiny, brand new cars with the newest features and technology fill the showroom floor. Salespeople are hustling and bustling, ready to strike a deal and complete a transaction. Imagine going back to the same dealership a few weeks later, only to discover that the showroom floor is empty and that the salespeople are simply lounging around fidgeting. This abrupt shift in the climate is a blatant sign that the market is in trouble. The market is showing signs of trouble when car sales drop like a canary in a mine. It can be brought on by a number of things, including changes in customer preferences, economic uncertainty, or a move towards alternative forms of transport. Regardless of the reason, a sudden decline in sales can affect the complete sector. To move inventory, automakers may be compelled to reduce output, fire employees, or provide steep discounts. Dealerships may have financial difficulties, which can lead to closures and employment losses. Reduced demand may have an effect on even auxiliary companies like mechanics and car parts suppliers. Number 2. Increase in unsold inventory. For dealerships, having too many unsold vehicles can be a nightmare. It holds back money that could be invested in a new technology or used to pay workers. As dealerships are compelled to provide incentives to shift the vehicles off the lot, it can also result in decreased profitability. However, why does this occur? There may be several causes. The dealership may overorder vehicles in expectation of strong demand, only to discover that the market has changed. Or perhaps the vehicles they ordered didn't match what customers wanted, which resulted in weak sales. Number 3. Increase in incentives. Imagine entering a car dealership and being greeted by the words "biggest sale of the year" on a banner. The salespeople are anxious to show you around and point out all the manufacturer's incentives and rebates. The rise in incentives may indicate that the manufacturer is attempting to increase revenue. Manufacturers of automobiles frequently use incentives and rebates to persuade consumers to buy their products. They could be rebates, financing specials, or additional benefits like free upkeep or longer warranties. These discounts may be the deciding element for many customers as they have a significant impact on the final cost of the car. Number 4. Closure in manufacturing plants. Think of a busy car assembly factory where workers and robots are busy assembling cars one component at a time. Imagine entering the same facility a few weeks later, only to discover it deserted and empty. The closing of manufacturing facilities might be an indication that automakers are having trouble producing enough vehicles to make the investment worthwhile. The death of one of the car industry's key manufacturing facilities could have a profound effect on the complete supply chain. It might entail worker layoffs, a decrease in the output of auto parts, or even the closure of related companies like mechanics and suppliers of auto parts. Number 5. Decrease in car prices. Picture yourself attending a gathering and noticing a huge bowl of candy on the table. Initially, everyone rushes to take a handful, but after a while, interest wanes and the bowl remains empty. The host eventually concludes that no one wants the candy and lowers the price to persuade them to take some. The auto industry operates under the same principle. If costs are falling, it means that consumers aren't as eager to purchase automobiles as they once were. Perhaps they're switching to electric bikes or scooters, or they're becoming more interested in public transit. Whatever the reason, the price drop is an attempt by vehicle dealers to increase their customer base by making their goods more accessible. Number 6. Increase in lease defaults. In return for the use of the vehicle, individuals sign a lease agreement and consent to make consistent payments over a predetermined time frame. However, if they are unable to make the payments, they will be in breach of contract and may be required to hand the vehicle back to the leaser. People may be having financial problems if they are defaulting on their vehicle leases in increasing numbers. They may have experienced a work loss, unforeseen medical costs, or other financial difficulties. Similar to the restaurant example, they might merely lack the funds to make their payments on time. Number 7. Decrease in consumer confidence. People are more likely to invest in major purchases like a new vehicle when they have confidence in the economy and their financial situation. but they might be reluctant to devote such a significant sum of money if they're feeling uncertain or anxious. People may worry about their employment security, their ability to make ends meet, or the state of the economy as a whole when consumer confidence is low. Therefore, they might put off making significant purchases until they have more faith in their financial position. Number 8. Increase in unemployment. Consider a scenario where you've recently lost your employment. Regarding how you're going to pay your expenses and make ends meet, you're feeling anxious and stressed. You start spending less, purchasing only what is necessary, and forgetting activities like dining out or vacations. New vehicle purchases suddenly don't seem to be as important. People begin to reduce their spending when they lose employment or are concerned about losing them. They might put off making larger purchases like a new vehicle in favor of just buying the necessities like groceries and paying their bills. Number 9. Increasing gas prices. People begin to consider their driving habits and the kind of vehicles they are driving more cautiously as petrol prices rise. To save money on petrol, they might even start searching for more fuel-efficient vehicles or cut back on their driving. This is particularly relevant to bigger, less fuel-efficient cars, such as trucks and SUVs. These vehicles typically consume more petrol, so as petrol prices rise, so does the expense of operating them. As a result, people might be less inclined to purchase these kinds of automobiles and might choose smaller, more efficient models instead. Number 10. Shifting consumer preferences. It may be a sign that the market for conventional vehicles is dwindling if consumers are shifting their preferences towards alternative forms of transportation like ride-sharing or electric scooters. Number 11. Increasing government regulations. Government regulations can add costs to manufacturers, making it harder for them to compete in the market. Number 12. Increasing competition. A market may begin to feel crowded and competitive when there are too many businesses vying for the same consumers and resources. This can make it challenging for any one player to succeed or stick out. When new players join the market, it might indicate that the market is already saturated and that there is insufficient demand to sustain all the current players. The goal of the new rivals may be to take a piece of the market, but this could increase competition and make it even more difficult for everyone to thrive. Number 13. Increase in debt. Taking on debt can be a method to finance significant expenses or investments when you're managing your money. However, when it comes to automakers, taking on additional debt might be an indication that their engines are sputtering. Imagine that you don't need to stop as frequently to fill up the petrol tank when your vehicle is operating efficiently. However, if your vehicle is having trouble keeping up, you might need to make more frequent stops at the petrol station just to keep it running. Similarly to this, when automakers are taking on more debt, it could mean they're finding it difficult to finance their operations and maintain a profitable company. Instead of making investments in innovations or growing their business, they might need to take on debt just to keep the lights on. Number 14. Decrease in profitability. The viability of the auto industry is on the table. It may be an indication that something is wrong with the engine if automakers report reduced profits or even losses. Lower profits or losses reported by automakers may even indicate that something is wrong with the auto industry. This makes it clear that customers aren't purchasing as many vehicles as they once did, or that the market is becoming more competitive. Whatever the cause, it's a red flag that things might not be as wholesome as they ought to be. Number 15. Increase in recalls. Consider it this way. If you're planning a road trip, you want to be confident that your vehicle is reliable and won't break down on you. However, if your car has been recalled more than once, you might begin to doubt the manufacturer's ability to build a dependable vehicle. Similar to how an increase in recalls by automakers can undermine customer confidence and lower sales. Customers might start to doubt the dependability and safety of the vehicles they're purchasing, and they might be reluctant to buy from that maker again in the future. And there you have it, 15 crystal clear signs that prove a major automobile market collapse is here. What are your opinions on the subject? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on the tiny bell icon to stay notified and updated on all our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you in the next one.